Ramen Nagi is a ramen restaurant chain originating in Tokyo. After conquering Japan, Ramen Nagi expanded worldwide. Now it has infiltrated the shores of these United States, so I decided to give it a try and report back. What can possibly go wrong? The fact that it is located inside a Westfield mall gave me pause. But I waved that aside and soldiered on, hoping for the best, but bracing for something less than spectacular. Upon arrival, I found myself at the back of a modest line. Perhaps this was a good sign, I reasoned with myself, foolishly. While in line, the server handed me a form with which to customize my imminent meal. Not wanting to rock the boat, I stayed the middle course, but chanced it with light sodium. That proved to be my undoing, which had just begun. Upon being seated, I was greeted with a phalanx of condiments: chili powder, sesame seeds, vinegar, pickled vegetables. The interior design consisted of simple and clean lines, reminiscent of a Japanese noodle shop. Or so I thought. Now let's get to the meat of the matter. The bowl of ramen before me looked promising enough. Slabs of chashu pork swimming in thick, glistening broth, covered in a generous helping of green onion and seaweed. All the right things in their right places. Another epic entry in the diary of gastronomic excess, I thought to myself, prematurely. First, the broth was unusually weak and diluted. The famous umami flavor that comes from pork and other ingredients having been boiled for hours and hours is strangely absent here. The noodle has no bounce or chewiness. It simply floats in the broth, flaccid and lifeless. And now comes the biggest disappointment. The chashu pork was exceedingly chewy and tasteless. It obviously hadn't been simmering in the broth for very long. In fact, for the first time in my life, I had leftover chashu pork in my bowl at the end of the meal. Unfortunately, the spicy ramen did not improve upon the original. The spice was infused with so much sweetness that it, in combination with the heat, overpowered all the other flavors, assuming that they were present in the first place. Perhaps the karaage or fried chicken would finally right the wrong and save the day. Alas, it was not to be. The fried chicken was cooked with almost no batter. As a result, it was not crispy in the least. In fact, it was so chewy and overly sweet, I felt like I was eating orange chicken from Panda Express. In summary, I started my meal with high hopes and big dreams, but ended it with bitter disappointment and a heavier doggy bag than usual. My loss was her gain. The world was balanced once again. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.